Good morning, friends. In this video, we will see previous year question from 67 to 76. It means we will cover 10 questions. All these questions have been taken from December 2018 English Literature NTA UGC NET. So let's begin. Which Walter Scott novel is set in France in the 15th century? Option A, Red Gauntlet. Option B, Ivanhoe. Option C, The Antiquary. Option D, Quentin. So the answer of this question will be option number D, Quentin. Quentin Durward novel is set in France in the 18th century, written by Walter Scott. It is a historical novel and a story concerned a Scottish archer in the service of the French King Louis XI. The novel is published in 1823. Sir Walter Scott, born in 1771, died in 1832, was a historical novelist, poet, playwright, and historian. And his notable works Rob Roy, Old Mortality, The Lady of the Lake, The Heart of Midlothian. Now, question number 68. David Malouf novel Ransom is based on A. Episode in the Trojan War, B. War memoir by Edmund Blunden, C. War poem by Eugenie Yevtushenko, D. Episode in the Mahabharata. So the answer of this question will be A. An episode in the Trojan War. Davis Malouf's novel Ransom is based on an episode in the Trojan War. In Greek mythology, the Trojan War was waged against the city of Troy by the Achaeans after Paris of Troy took Helen from her husband Menelaus, king of Sparta. The war is one of the most important events in Greek mythology and has been narrated through many works of Greek literature, most notably Homer's Iliad. Now, question number 69. Match the author with the title. So, the author and the title. Ellen Patton, Ngugi Thiong'o, Teju Kole, Will Soyinka. So, the title Open City, Cry the Beloved Country, The Grain of Wheat, The Interpreters. So, the answer of this question will be C. It means A will go with the second. So Ellen Patton will go with Cry the Beloved Country. Option B, Ngugi wa Thiong'o. B will go with third, A Grain of Wheat. C, Teju Kole. C will go with first. It means Open City. And D, Wol Soyinka. D will go with the fourth, The Interpreters. Now, Ellen Patton, Cry the Beloved Country, Ngugi wa Thiong'o, A Grain of Wheat, Teju Kole, Open City, Wol Soyinka, The Interpreters. And question number 70. Braj Kachru has observed a tendency among Indian English speakers and writers to use hybrid lexical items. One example of this is ping pong, chaiwala, jugir, lathi charge. So the answer of this question will be lathi charge. It means D option. Hybrid items. By a hybrid lexical item is meant here a lyrical item which comprises two or more elements, at least one of which is from a South Asian language and one from English. The elements of hybrid formation may belong either to an open set or to a closed system. In Laris Kachru, born in 1983, in this, the first component, the modifier is from English and the head is from a South Asian language. Consider, for example, the following: bad Hindustani, broken Hindustani, British Raj, obscene Sarkar, big factor. Example: lathi charge. Now question number 71. Full many a lady I have eyed with best regard, and many a time the harmony of their tongues hath into bondage brought my too diligent ear. For several virtues have I liked several women, never any with so dull soul, so full soul, but some defect in her did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed, and put it to the foil. But you, O you, so perfect and so peerless, are created of every creature's best. This passage admiring the perfect matching of inner and outward beauty of a woman is taken from A. John Osborne, The Duchess of Malfi, John Webster, The Duchess of Malfi, B. Shakespeare, Tempest, C. Marlowe, Dr. Faustus, D. Thomas Middleton, Women Beware Women. So the answer of this question will be option number B. Shakespeare, Tempest. Shakespeare's Tempest is one of the last plays that Shakespeare wrote alone, probably written in 1610 or 11. By Tempest poet admiring the perfect matching of inner and outer beauty of a woman, its another name is the Enchanted Island. In traditional ELT, English language teaching methods and materials, the native speaker is elevated and idealized against stereotyped non-native speakers. This tendency is dubbed by Adrian Holiday. Option A, the near native fallacy. Option B, native speakerism. Option C, the non-native fallacy. Option D, the native speaker bias. So the answer of this question will be option number B, and that is native speakerism. Native speakerism is a persuasive ideology within ELT, English language teaching, characterized by the belief that native speaker teachers represent a Western culture from which spring the ideals both of the English language and the of English language teaching methodology. Question number 73rd. There are helpers and harmers among fellow pilgrims in Christians' journey in Pilgrim's Progress. Who among the following is not a helper? A. Mr. Worldly, wise man. B. The interpreter. C. Goodwill. D. The evangelist. So the answer of this question will be option number A. Mr. Worldly, wise man. Mr. Worldly, wise man is also a character of Pilgrim's Progress played by Maurice O'Callaghan. Peter Thomas. The Pilgrim Progress from this world to that which is to come is a 1678 Christian allegory written by John Bunyan. Mr. Worldly Wiseman is a resident of a place called Cornwall Policy who persuades Christian to go out of his way to focuses salvation on the law and good deeds instead of faith and love in Jesus Christ. His real advice is from the world and not from the God. Now, question number 74. Which of the following is the most accurate statement by W.E.B. Du Bois? Famous articulation of the trueness of black Americans. Option A. This double consciousness, this sense of always looking oneself through the eyes of others is a peculiar sensation. Option B. This sense of always looking at oneself, a peculiar sensation through the eyes of others, is double consciousness. Option C. It is a peculiar sensation. This double consciousness, this sense of always looking at oneself through the eyes of others. And option D. Through the eyes of others, this sense of always looking at oneself, we acquire the double consciousness. So the answer of this question will be option number C, and that it is a peculiar sensation, this double consciousness, this sense of always looking at oneself through the eyes of others. The most accurate statement by W.E.B. Du Bois It is a peculiar sensation, this double consciousness, this sense of always looking at one's self through the eyes of others. Now, question number 75. The term digger is associated with a group of agrarian communists who flourished in England in 1649 and 50 and were led by option A. Lawrence Clarkson, option B. Gerard Winstanley, option C. John Leburn, option D. George Fox. So the answer of this question will be option number B. Gerard Winstanley. The term digger, any group of agrarian communists who flourished in England in 1649 and 50 and were led by Gerard Winstanley in April 1649, about so poor men assembled at St. George Hill, Surrey, and began to cultivate the common land. These diggers held that the English Civil War had been fought against the king and the great landowners. Now that Charles the First had been executed, land should be made available for the very poor to cultivate. Now, question number 76, and it will be the last question. What attitude towards death would you find in such poems as Tennyson's Crossing the Bar, Whitman's Death Carol, and Kipling's El Inouye? Option A, disappear. Option B, hope. Option C, resignation. Option D, protest. So the answer of this question will be option number B, and that is hope. Tennyson's Crossing the Bar, Whitman's Death Carol, and Kipling's El Inouye poetry contained hope, because all three poetries are optimistic, contained items as well as thoughts. So the class is over. Thank you.